Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out the Tales Less Traveled.
We are a group of friends recanting cross-country accounts of all things that bump in the night.
Please bear with us as we work out a few kinks in our first episode. We're learning along with you guys and hope you enjoy.
The first stop on our cross-country journey is Texas, the Lone Star State where Southern hospitality is only rivaled by the sweetness of tea. Join us as we take you deep in the heart of Texas and their tales less traveled. Hello everyone, welcome to Tales Less Traveled, the first episode of our new podcast.
Woohoo!
My name is Josh and I'm going to be taking you through some stories, basically a little virtual cross-country trip into all things mysterious and paranormal. And I'm joined here with my friends Alex,
Hey guys!
Chismo,
Hi.
and Brooke.
How y'all doing?
Oh, you have an actual name?
I mean, my name is Catherine, but Josh calls me Chismo, so it's okay.
Okay, moving forward. So I've prepared some stories today,
Okay.
all throughout Texas. Where would you guys like to start?
I mean, it's just, the state's so big, like, I don't know. I mean, we could work centrally.
What you got on the menu for tonight, Josh? What are we talking here for Texas?
I got stories of aliens, ghosts, demons, other.
Other.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds spooky already.
You gonna save your best for last? I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Save my best for last.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna start us off with a little otherworldly UFO story.
Okay.
All right, and I'm just gonna read a passage from the Dallas Morning News.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Okay,
When was this?
I'll tell you in just a minute.
I mean,
Alright.
it could be from the future at this point.
Could be a week ago.
2020.
All right, the title of this article is "A Windmill Demolishes It." About 6 o'clock this morning, the early risers of Aurora were astonished at the sudden appearance of the airship which has been sailing through the country. It was traveling due north and much nearer to Earth than ever before. Evidently, some of the machinery was out of order, and it was making a speed of only 10 or 12 miles an hour and gradually settling towards the Earth. It sailed directly over the public square, and when it reached the north part of town, it collided with the tower of Judge Proctor's windmill. It went into pieces with a terrific explosion, scattering debris over several acres of the ground, wrecking the windmill and water tank and destroying the judge's flower garden. The pilot of the ship is supposedly to have been the only one on board, and while his remains are badly disfigured, enough of the original has been picked up to show that he was not an inhabitant of this world. Mr. T.J. Weems, of the United States Signal Service officer. Okay, this is so hard to read. Hold on. Mr. T.J. Weems, the United States Signal Service officer at this place and an authority on astronomy, gives it as his opinion that he was a native of the planet Mars. Papers found on his person, evidently the record of his travels, are written in some unknown hieroglyphics and cannot be deciphered. The ship was too badly wrecked to form any conclusion as to its construction or motive power. It was built of an unknown metal, resembling somewhat a mixture of aluminum and silver, and it must have weighed several tons. The town is full of people today who are viewing this wreck and gathering specimens of the strange metal from the debris. The pilot's funeral will take place at noon tomorrow.
When was this written?
This is from the Dallas Morning News, 1897.
1897?
And let me just point out, that is 6 years before the airplane was invented.
Wait, are you serious?
What?
Yeah.
Alright, hold on, but I do want to make a little side note here. Judge Proctor? Was that the guy's name?
He was a judge.
Yes, Judge Proctor's windmill.
Alright, what is it with men back then being called Proctor? Like, what isn't Proctor in like the Crucible or something like that?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes, it was.
All right, so synopsis.
Is there a chance that this is a Mexican and they just couldn't understand Spanish?
Are you just really going for the
Are you
race card?
because of
right
the
now?
hieroglyphics?
Look. Because if they didn't understand Spanish, they'd be like, "What the heck is this?"
This is
Viña.
Texas.
As a
Viña.
Mexican,
This used
right now.
We're in Texas.
This used to be part of Mexico.
Where is Abba? Where?
Aurora.
Texas.
Where's Aurora?
That is 54 miles west of here.
I just want the audience to know that Brooke's a native from Pennsylvania.
I'm a native from Pennsylvania.
So she's not too familiar with the greatness of Texas.
history.
Look, if I pointed to a place on a Texas map and I said, "Where is this?" I bet you tell me. You got 3 places. No, I'm sorry, 5 places to pick from. You got Dallas, Houston, San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Either I'll give you Galveston or Eagles Pass and El Paso.
Eagles, huh? I've never heard of.
Oh, what was that? You never heard of that, but you're from Texas?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So you're.
So basically,
They held a funeral for him. I think.
I
that's
will
interesting.
assure you that he was buried with full Christian rites.
Oh my god.
Parts of the ship were thrown into
Christian. Huh?
Judge Proctor's well, and some were buried with the alien in an unmarked grave.
This guy. So what? They just decided that he was an alien, essentially.
Yes.
They had papers on him. That's fine.
They're officially stated to
From
have said
Mars.
he's from Mars. Yes.
The fact that they couldn't understand it is interesting to me, but it's like
Okay,
I
but
wonder how big this windmill was, how flimsy it was.
Well, they said the ship was several. What was it? Several tons. Yeah, it weighed several tons, so a couple thousand pounds.
Yeah, but you gotta imagine back then a ton was, I mean, not necessarily a ton what it means today. If it was just huge and heavy, they couldn't lift it. But look, I'm a believer, so
Brooke believes in aliens.
I had an experience on myself, but
Oh.
we'll get into that. I guess maybe when we get into Pennsylvania, that's my tale less traveled. But it's just
see, I don't know. I think it's not that I'm not a believer. Don't get me wrong, but it's just weird. Like maybe this guy was just.
I'm open to the idea,
I
but
agree.
seeing is believing, and I haven't seen anything. So
And this is again from the Dallas Morning News.
this is Dallas Morning News,
Damn.
18. When? 18.
1897. Now there is more to the story.
Oh, okay.
In 1935, a man by the name of Mr. Brawley Oates bought the land and cleared out the wreckage in the well to use as a water source, and he would later to develop a case of extremely painful arthritis, which he blamed on the contaminated water supply. And by 1945, he would have sealed up the well with concrete. And I have a picture, if you want to look it up. These are his hands. This came from the
guy
arthritis.
who bought it.
Yeah, this is
We'll add this to
Mr.
our
Brawley
website.
Oates.
Yeah, it looks
Don't
like
get ahead of yourself.
It's got to be.
Our website.
It's got to be some sort of contaminant. I don't know.
like a chemical
Chemistry
reaction
there,
or
yeah.
something. I mean, this guy's hands.
They're bubbled. They're disformed.
Doesn't look like arthritis.
It doesn't look like arthritis. But back
No.
then,
I did look up, just out of curiosity, I did check the CDC website of any problems with ingesting too much aluminum, because the newspaper did say the ship was made of silver and aluminum. And the CDC says that some people who have kidney disease store a lot of aluminum in their bodies, and the kidney disease causes less aluminum to be removed from the body in the urine. Sometimes these people develop bone or brain diseases that doctors think were caused by the excess aluminum.
so you think that's excessive bone that's growing on his hands?
Ew.
Maybe.
That's really weird.
It's got to be some. But you know what? Back then too, how regulated was the well water regardless?
I assume
It
it was just
wouldn't-
a hole in the ground.
Exactly. So they don't know what they're drinking. They're just thinking, oh, it's coming out of the faucet. I'm going to drink it then. Not
Yeah.
necessarily even test it. So God knows what it is, what's in it. Even if they threw stuff from the ship in there, they, be something else. Something died or some sort of leakage from somewhere else.
I feel kind of bad for the, old Judge Proctor there. Like, can you imagine he's having a good day and all of a sudden, bam.
The windmill explodes.
Yeah, so someone's pissed off that they got hung.
Yeah.
Their ghost comes back and messes up the windmill.
Exactly. Like, I'd be pissed. Like, you know how much money that windmill probably was, or how long it took to build that thing?
Why would
day.
Why would they have windmills back in the day? What would it do?
Josh?
It's not for electricity. Is it for looks?
Well, you see,
There's
as
still windmills.
somebody
Like-
who's studied
like-
windmill architecture,
You know things.
You know a thing or two.
Well, today
Yeah.
we have turbines, right? We have wind turbines. Why do you have a windmill? Because did it power anything back then?
well,
It's not like they had generators.
I don't know, weren't like,
I have an odd feeling we're sounding really unintelligent so far.
well, how many people know what a freaking windmill is for?
that's true.
I mean,
don't
what
know.
didn't they use like it for grinding or something?
Like,
take the
no, I
power of the
don't know.
wind.
It clearly
no
had a
idea.
purpose.
Well, it was blown up and it never was rebuilt. And to go on further,
Ooh.
in the 80s, Time magazine interviewed
Time
an
magazine.
86-year-old Edda Pagus, who was from Aurora. She said the story was a hoax to bring in tourists to revitalize the town because after, I think it was like after the railroad came, people stopped stopping by. It used to be a town to,
I guess like pass on through for
Yeah.
like goods or whatever.
yeah, something like that.
What was her name again?
Edda Pagus.
How do you
Probably
spell
mispronouncing that. Pegues.
Oh, Edda sounds like she's saying the truth.
But she also claimed that Judge Proctor never even owned a windmill.
I'm telling you, Judge Proctors, man.
But here's the other thing. There was a show called UFO Hunters a few years back who investigated this. And when they were investigating the farm, they found the remains of the base of a windmill on the property.
That doesn't necessarily mean it was his windmill.
What?
That it was the Proctor, Judge Proctor's windmill. It doesn't necessarily mean it was his.
But what if that was the only windmill like within a certain radius?
Yeah, that like corroborated the story. I have no idea. I'm just saying, like, devil's advocate.
I wonder
May
if
have
alright, so what if part of the story is true? What if it like something did hit it but
It wasn't necessarily an alien.
there was just
Further, they also opened the well that was sealed.
Yeah.
And while they didn't find any wreckage or scrap, they did find a large amount of aluminum in the water supply.
Okay. But what about, like, other areas in Aurora? Like, did they test that?
I didn't write anything down, but supposedly there's aluminum found in trees and stuff nearby. But it was a couple acres.
And only those acres had the aluminum in it?
I don't have the answer to that.
I don't know, do you guys think it's real? Like really?
We'll say at the time, 1897, aluminum was more valuable than gold.
Really?
Wow.
Why?
You know, it's
It's
really
more
valuable
scarce.
in 2022 because we have an aluminum shortage.
I haven't gotten there.
Right now?
Alright.
Yeah.
You know, don't,
Or was it all just an elaborate
Things will get better in 2021.
I'll let you decide.
So yeah, I'm not claiming to. I don't know the credibility of the UFO hunters. I've never watched the show, but they also went on to find they weren't given permission to dig in the cemetery, but they supposedly found an unmarked grave
Yeah, but an unmarked grave. could
where
be
could
used
be anything.
yeah, exactly.
Ground penetrating equipment to find
Like-
someone that was just laying there.
Like, I could bury a random skeleton.
Why are you hitting my thigh when you say that?
I was gonna say I could have
You
buried
buried
you.
me? Yeah, I know.
But I could have just buried
not marked
some
my grave?
skeleton and be like, X.
After all these years, I would have at least hoped for at least a symbol on my grave.
Girl, have her will signed first. Then kill her.
Amazing sister and amazing friend.
But yeah, you do the ground penetrating equipment and she's not there.
I'd be
So
scared.
and
Let's
you know
grab this.
it's not too far. We could go visit. we could go check out Aurora.
Aurora Borealis.
I mean, we could pack up
Yeah.
this tent right now and just head there.
A little
Yes,
room,
this-
little beep beep, a little sip sip.
Just put out this campfire and hit the road.
Just
I don't know what you're laughing at. I worked hard on this.
Because I'm laughing at the thought of leaving right now.
you can't hear the nice crackle.
It's nice. It's so soothing. I can hear it.
Mm.
Always seeing, I can feel it.
It's hot.
It is a little warm. And I'm wearing silk.
You know
You're
what?
wearing what? Silicone?
Silk.
Oh, I was gonna say, God.
I gotta
No,
say,
not
though,
yet.
You know, if I was a writer back in the day where no one really had to justify my credibility, I would have wrote a ton of stuff.
Well, that's how it
You know
happened.
what? That's why they needed something fantastical that was going to be put in the Dallas
That's
Morning
what
News.
I mean, this was a dying town.
A major
Aurora?
paper.
Maybe there's some money underneath the mat, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's either. How long was this? This was.
Odd about the aluminum though.
I will say also this is known as like Texas's Roswell, because this happened, what, 50 something years before Roswell. We'll get to that
I
another
don't
day.
know.
I was gonna say,
I
you're
don't
gonna have
know,
to
we're
educate
not-
me on my
No.
knowledge.
I don't know.
Okay,
Alright.
we'll get there. We'll
Good
get there
starter,
eventually.
good
That's a good
starter.
start. What else do you have?
All right, well, that's the only alien story I have. I couldn't find much on aliens, but
Can't
Sorry,
Amazing.
Brooke.
maybe we could move on to Tejano lore.
Tejano what?
I like how
Tejano lore.
Josh looks at us.
He looks at Alex and I, not Brooke.
She doesn't. Well, she doesn't. She won't know.
It's not like Pocahontas.
Well,
to
she,
me.
she's white.
Pocahontas.
Two white people looking at the only Mexicans in this room.
Do you
We're
hear that?
Hispanic.
Look.
Wait,
yeah,
wait.
okay.
Do you hear that?
What?
There it is again.
I don't hear it.
Sounds
At the
like
chupacabra.
an owl, doesn't it? Almost like
Who?
La Lechuza.
Wait,
Who's that?
wait. Someone here is possessed by an owl.
It's you, the listener.
No, someone here is possessed by an owl.
By an owl.
By
By
an
an owl.
By an owl.
By
Josh,
now.
Josh,
I'll buy
just
an
say,
owl.
Just say who. Just say who.
Okay. This next story.
No.
What do you?
Someone
what are you
here
getting?
is possessed by an owl.
Who? Okay.
I
Good,
thought
that's-
it was
that's
funny.
great.
I don't
That's
think
great.
that's gonna meet the final cut. We'll
I
get
don't
you.
care. I had to do it.
You know what? It was good. I would have done the same thing in your position. I'm proud of you.
What were you gonna do in my position?
All right. So have you heard of La Lechuza?
La lechuza? That sounds like la
No.
lechuga.
Yellow Reina?
The lettuce. No.
Okay. Well, this is not.
The lettuce?
This is not the lettuce.
What does it translate to?
I don't know.
Oh.
Lechuza.
Lechuza.
Anybody got a phone? We're all modern here. I've got a phone.
Something
Come
with,
on.
something to do with owls.
Yeah? What is La Lechuza?
Well, okay. Well, while you're looking up that, I'll start telling you about La Lechuza.
Please.
So this is a creature that is supposedly around 7 feet tall.
You're...
Yeah. What?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Was it lettuce?
No, it was actually owl. Lechuza
Okay.
is owl.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because this is an owl creature.
Is that why you were like, do you hear that? Sound
Yeah,
like an
because
owl?
the owls were going crazy.
Well, then my joke fit in too.
Yeah, there you go. We're off to a great start. So this is a 7-foot creature with a 15-foot wingspan
Sounds like the Mothman.
and the face of an old woman.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
So, and supposedly, legend has it that this is a witch or a
Owl? Lechuza?
witch, or for my Spanish
La
speakers
bruja.
out there, a
Bruja?
bruja
Oh.
I got that for all y'all, and I'm white.
who sold her soul to the devil to be able to turn into an owl creature.
Why
Sounds
would
like
you...
New top 5.
Why would she want to turn into an owl?
Because owls are all knowing and wise, and they can turn their heads all the way around and be freaky.
I want to hear the story.
Well,
Basically, she doesn't want to hear your story. She wants to hear his story.
so there's all sorts of ways you know that La Lechuza is coming for you. If you hear a bird screech at night, it's an omen that La Lechuza is hungry and looking for her next meal, which is human flesh, of course. She's known to pretend to be an infant and cry outside people's doors at night.
That's creepy.
If someone mistakenly opens the door, they will be taken by La Lechuza.
You'll be dead.
And some have reported that after hearing those noises outside the door, they find scratches the next day.
That's creepy.
If she is hungry enough, she will stand in the middle of isolated roads or swoop down and knock cars off course.
Wow.
And she's also considered to foreshadow disaster. If you see her, someone in your family is supposedly about to die.
No.
Which leads to several other stories around this nature. Because you got La Lechuza, La Llorena,
What's Lorena?
the Weeping
Llorona.
Llorona. Great.
Llorona.
Perfect.
Corona.
Some people might say
Uh,
the crier.
the
No.
Weeping
The
Woman.
weeping woman.
The weeping woman.
What's the one that you were afraid of when you were little?
Kukui.
The kukui.
Kukui.
You want to talk about that?
Well, if you were a bad little boy or a bad little girl, like a boy would come up and grab it.
Well, yeah, my dad would. I don't know. He's told. Yeah, you heard of Kukui growing up, right?
Yeah, well, they instilled that in me. Well, you know what?
They instilled it in me for sure. I even had a dream. I've told you guys of Kukui. And it was during Christmas time, and I had a dream that Kukui, all in black with like pointy ears, was stealing our gifts from the Christmas tree. I was like,
I love that. That's what terrifies you. A monster
He's
taking your
stealing my
presents.
gifts.
not,
Yeah, he was
not
taking
trying
our
to kill
presents.
you,
Well,
but
why
taking
not?
your
but he was
gifts.
scary looking though. He was all black, glowing eyes, and pointy ears.
I'm not gonna brag, but we had some really great Christmas presents. I'd be worried too. See, the thing with me is like I would be worried of him popping out in the dark, so that was my fear of the dark. Was not even darkness itself. It was
Really?
yeah, it was the monster. So when I was a kid, I would wrap myself in a blanket.
Oh yeah,
And-
me too.
Yeah, and just walk around the house
Mhm.
dead in the night
Mhm.
and think that no one would see me because I'd have this blanket over me.
Like Harry Potter.
Exactly, the invisible cloak.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was the concept. Took it from me. So the other thing I would do is if I was in bed or if I got close back to the bed, I would literally do like a running start and just leap on the bed because I was afraid he'd get like my legs or something.
Mhm.
And then I would completely wrap myself under the covers and put like a pillow over my head.
And I'm sweating underneath the bed because I'm real
Yeah, no, I would. I really would. And I forgot that I did that. But yeah, I used to just.
And that's all because Pops instilled it in us. He
That
was like,
sounds,
Kukui will come and get you, little boo.
sounds like
Just
something,
Like a Mexican boogeyman.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally was though.
I did the same, but you know what? I saw him more in my dreams.
I'm sorry. You know who else really effed me up though?
Who?
Chucky.
Oh,
That's a whole-
Chucky.
That's a whole different
That's
thing.
another thing.
But yeah, Kukui did not help.
See,
We'd watch Chucky at night.
I still turn off the lights and I run.
Me too.
I run throughout the house. It's called crippling anxiety, but I guess Kukui also works.
Crippling anxiety.
Well,
We did that the other night.
Okay, to be fair though, guys, like, you know, I understand through like time as it's existed, like people would use like these stories, right? They would use like these myths or these legends and talk about these monsters or whatever to essentially serve like a purpose. And usually it would be like
Like,
Morals.
be good or
They'll
the
come get
kukui
you.
will come and get you.
yeah, it was like a
Take
warning.
you away.
Yeah, like you know, this is how we're gonna discipline you. You're either gonna do good or
Live in fear.
basically. And like, how's that worked out?
Why do that to a child?
I don't know. She seems pretty shaken up still to this
I know,
day.
it sounds like it worked, didn't it?
Oh, now you're burning your finger
I mean,
and
she-
everything.
She had heat exhaustion under the covers apparently.
I sweat. I'll stay under the covers and sweat. I'm too scared.
I can just imagine your Asian baby form.
Yeah.
Just totally
Because-
trembling.
yeah, it's completely different because I never heard of any monsters growing up.
Really?
I was terrified of Slappy from Goosebumps though.
No.
I was so scared. Got my mom to hide the books from me 'cause I didn't want to get rid of them, but I was afraid of them.
Oh, that's cute. What about you?
In my in my
Growing
younger
up.
years.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh-oh.
you know, I had a hobo tap on my window one night.
Did you
Okay.
really?
All right,
Yeah.
now-
Oh, but that, no.
And I
that's-
thought I had an experience with an alien, but I still will get into that with my tale less traveled. But you know, what was I scared of growing up? The dark,
Yeah.
aliens.
It's not the dark that's scary. It's what's in the
so-
dark.
So I
Exactly.
developed a habit in my, I want to say maybe young teens, of having specifically to sleep with a pillow over my ear or draping my arm over my ear, and I still do it to this day because for some reason I got a thought that, or I had the thought that someone would be whispering in my ear while I slept.
Oh man.
And I got the habit of sleeping on my side to face my bedroom door because I thought if anyone were to open my door or
You'll
if I
see
woke
them?
up, that I'd see them.
You
and
know
they would have
what?
been to my back.
To this
And I
day,
still do that to this day.
I don't sleep on my back because I'm scared of getting sleep paralysis. Because they say that you're more likely to
You'll
get sleep
hallucinate
paralysis
and you'll freak
on your
out.
back,
Yeah.
right? So to this day, I don't sleep on my back.
Yeah.
What happened to you to make you think that someone's gonna whisper in your ear?
Maybe they're
I
just
don't
trying to give you a
Mama, let me
little
whisper in your ear.
I mean,
Yeah.
paranormal ASMR.
I used to listen to, my mom was really into paranormal. She still is. And I was too, so we'd always watch paranormal stuff. But I just had this fear of sleeping in a dark room. And I don't know. And I thinking that I saw the alien thing did wonders to me. The tapping on my window late at night did wonders to me. Knowing that there was things around my house sometimes that were unexplainable, like, definitely did wonders to me. So I don't know. It just, I don't know.
That's for another story time.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious to hear your stories because I don't know them fully, but I want to hear them.
Well, we can have like a mini episode where we just detail my crippling anxiety, and I can tell
Brooks
you everything.
passed.
Let's be
Brooks
honest.
Brooks
though.
therapy.
A three-parter.
I was gonna say, let's get some therapy sessions in on that.
I plan on it.
Anything more on this lechuga?
Lechuga.
The Lechuga, yeah. No, I mean, I read a couple stories, random Reddit posts, or just people telling their story on forums, which are hit or miss. Don't know if they're actually believable, but they all are all the same. Of like, you know, somebody heard scratching or saw something, and the La Lechuza almost came for them.
I was watching this one TV show. I can't remember what the heck it was a while ago, and there was this kid who had something like that follow him, and it actually attacked his car.
Did it really?
And like when he tried to swerve to get it off of his car, and when he got home, on the hood of his car were scratch marks of like whatever jumped on his car and was clawing at it, trying to get to him.
Did he actually see the thing?
Yeah.
And then what happened to it?
He like swerved to get it off of his car, but he thought it was like coming after him. I mean, he stopped like in the middle of the road after it happened, and then looks like, I gotta get out of here because what if it comes back?
Now with these monsters like this owl witch or the chupacabra or La Llorona, it's like all this stuff originated in Mexico and was kind of brought into Texas.
Love our people.
Well, you know, that's kind of cool though to wonder, like, so all these things that it's like been manipulated over time, right? Just depending where you live, but it's kind of cool in a sense.
To have origins to
Yeah, like, yeah, trace it back to, like, what was the original, like,
Yeah.
myth? What was the original legend?
Which is,
Now-
it's hard to track down, because, I mean, doing all my research, like, I kind of grouped all these monsters into one category, because I couldn't really find a direct source, like, this stuff has just kind of evolved, and there's no, like, direct stories, it's just kind of, like, descriptions.
I think those are the best kind of stories where you
Like-
can't track them down, but they've been passed on by word of mouth.
Well,
Like
that's what I
the-
was gonna say. I think it's so cool that Mama heard these stories growing up, and I'm sure
You need to get the one story from your mom. She was telling us the other day about how
that ghost I told you
your
about.
Thea like
Mhm.
talked
The
about how
floating
the
lady.
woman that would go door to
Oh,
door.
that's another story.
Josh,
Oh,
you
my-
probably like that one.
Oh,
I don't
like,
think we've ever
let's-
told
let's go, because this is the Texas episode.
Well, I don't know.
Texas part 2 because y'all need to get your information from your Thea.
I was gonna say I don't know all of it, but all I know is that Mama, Thea, Abuelita, like they lived in a very small neighborhood in Mexico, but apparently, according to my Thea, like they would always see a woman in black, and it was almost like she was floating with no feet, walking around the neighborhood. And she saw her enter their house, and Thea
Their
runs
house?
to, yeah, like where my mom, my aunt, and grandma were living.
Now, I just also want to point out, because I've seen that house that they used to live in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it literally, I mean, I guess you, from like typical standards, like you wouldn't look at it as a house, but it kind of like looks like, just kind of like this block of like concrete that's kind of just like etched into the side. And when you walk in, so you go down these steps and then you like walk in, and there's literally like maybe one big room to your right, then the back, like the kitchen, like everything's pretty much open. There's only one
Like
room.
a studio apartment.
Sort of, yeah. It's just all concrete.
It's just like
yeah.
Mexican, like.
Yeah, like yeah. It's just, you know, they didn't really grow up wealthy, so it's like they pretty much packed a bunch of people in there. So imagine seeing something. So
Well,
apparently
that's
go through concrete essentially.
Thea says that she sees this floating lady go into the house, and she runs into the house, you know, calling like, who walked in? Who was that? And everybody was like, no one. What are you talking about? Like, no one walked in.
Yeah, and you can see from the front door pretty much the entire house. So for a couple seconds to run back in and ask who just came inside and not see anybody.
I don't know, but we'll have to get the details.
Was this in
later.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Mexico. Yeah. El Paso, maybe? Think so.
I don't know.
Or like,
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. We'll have to get the details later, but
well,
that's all I know. A floating lady.
That's creepy. To be continued. You know what? Maybe we'll have some more floating ladies later on tonight.
Okay.
Is
Is that a transition?
No,
Oh.
I'm not there yet.
That would have been good though.
But to keep on about the ladies,
Hey.
how much
Get
do you
it?
guys know about the donkey lady of San Antonio?
Okay, I told you this before. I've heard of the donkey lady, but I don't know the full story.
Let me tell you, she's an ass.
Have you heard of?
Nobody laughed.
Is this me? I'll slap my meat. That was so funny.
Thanks.
No.
I'll give you like a studio audience laugh there.
Cut it out.
Okay, but I'm actually excited to hear this one. 'Cause I've
Okay,
heard
so
of it.
the stories vary. As in, it was either the 1800s or 1950.
Could you
Very
imagine?
drastic.
Could you imagine if it was just like a hoe with like a really big butt,
No.
and she had a really strong kick,
We
and
don't.
they were like, she a donkey.
We don't say
Donkey?
hoe. We say
Lady
No,
of the night.
no.
Prostitute.
Say donkey woman.
a lady of the night.
A lady of the night.
Okay.
You know,
A floating lady.
Okay, that's different.
we gotta respect our ladies who work during the night.
There's some women that put it all out there, and I respect them because they gotta love themselves. They gotta love their bodies to show other people that, and I can't even do
And they're
I wonder
putting
how-
food on the table.
I wonder how people in San Antonio feel about us talking about prostitution
Look,
while
we got-
mentioning the donkey
that.
lady.
You have to.
I don't think-
you have
is
to
this
preface
connected?
though.
Listen, the only thing I
Is
ever
this
really
related, Josh?
What?
Ladies of the night and the donkey.
No, I don't know who
I
brought
don't know
that up.
what is going on.
Yeah,
Brooke,
Brooke,
I'll tell you,
stop.
Brooke.
Look, you gotta preface though that we're from Northeast Texas. We're from like the DFW
That's
area.
not
so
northeast.
That's not.
what do you mean it's not Northeast?
We're
She's
North
from Pennsylvania.
Texas. We're just North Texas.
All right,
There's
North Texas.
there's
North
like a
Texas.
good 5 hours of driving to
Okay,
the
east.
to get
All right.
to.
So North Texas, right?
Pennsylvania again.
Just
I've
looking
only
at the
been
map.
here for not even 2 years. North Texas, and you have to understand, we don't really get along with San Antonio. We don't really get along with Houston because of sports and stuff.
San Antonio have like teams to.
San
I
Antonio
get Houston.
Spurs. San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, the Spurs are really the.
Okay.
Shout out to my friend Clara, huge San Antonio Spurs fan.
Get out of here.
Yeah, well, it's it's a debatable
Cut the
choice.
cameras.
But...
Deadass.
You know, if they had an Austin team, she'd be like, go Austin.
Well, okay, hold on.
No. She wouldn't say go Austin. She'd
I
be
want to
too.
hear the donkey lady. I don't want to hear about the Spurs or sports
The Stewarts.
teams.
Look, I mean no ill will.
All right. Well.
Donkey lady.
Anyways, in either the 1800s or 1950s, because that's the date range. Just it's somewhere in that 150 years, let's say.
An estimate.
There's a woman whose husband set fire to their home, killing his children and horribly disfiguring his wife. Supposedly her hands were burned down to black stumps that looked like hooves, and her face was so badly melted it looked like a donkey. It just drooped down.
I have a really good story for when we get to Pennsylvania. Oh, it'd be amazing.
To be
Alright.
continued.
Pigeonhole that.
What the heck does that mean?
Bastard.
Oh,
Save it for
pigeonhole.
later.
I learned that
I've
in
never heard
debate
of that.
class. Pigeonhole it like... No, pigeonhole was, delete it.
Pigeonhole that, Brooke.
You guys?
Okay.
So did
No,
she
but
join
so-
like the Barnum traveling circus?
No, she stalked the bridge near her house, screaming and attacking people.
That's
Why?
That's going to the circus.
Because
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel
It's-
like I do worse.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
Other stories say that the woman's donkey bit a wealthy man in town, and he in turn burned down their home. But regardless, she began to roam the nearby bridge, tormenting anyone who tried to cross. And the people who have been to the bridge have claimed to see a donkey-like creature screaming at them, and some have even seen hoof indents on their car. And some have heard hoof claps in the distance and an eerie feeling of being watched.
That's sad.
I wonder what bridge
I just
that
want her
is.
to have peace.
So you think it's real?
She's
Not
either
necessarily, but I still want her spirit to have peace.
well, it's kind of a I don't know. Is she? I couldn't tell if she's like supposed to be like an evil spirit or like tormented spirit, or if she's an actual was turned into this horrible creature who's still around.
Was this written in the San Antonio News?
I'm sure I could find an article. I didn't find any though. This is all just hearsay.
My favorite kind of say.
I say.
That's the guy from Pennsylvania.
Oh
that I'll
yeah,
talk
I've
about.
seen this story.
Yeah,
The Green Man. We'll get
Yeah.
there.
We'll
get
get
there.
there.
But that's a true story.
that is a true story.
That's
The Green
not
Man?
Freak
debating.
you out when it's when I
Don't worry.
Well, I'm
We'll get
excited
there.
for
We'll get to Pennsylvania
We'll
one
take.
of these
It'll
days.
take a while to get there, though. We
Yeah.
gotta really.
Gotta pack up the van and head north.
I'm excited to pack up and leave
Yeah, there's a lot of states between here and.
Pennsylvania.
jump, hop, skip away.
Yeah, we can always skip around. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So you want to move on?
Yeah.
Do y'all believe that was real?
Oh yeah. What do you think? Think the donkey
Wait,
lady's
we
roaming?
haven't been asked if the others were real. I know the first one we were asked if
Okay, do you believe in chupacabra, la llorona,
Okay. I'm gonna say no on Chupacabra.
lechuza?
We were
Or
talking about
Lechuza.
Yeah, I thought it was
No,
Lechuza.
not Chupacabra. Lechuza.
I think that's the Texas version of the Mothman.
Chupacabra?
No,
Lechuza.
Lechuza.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like the Mothman. Even
Right.
the omens and everything. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
We'll get to the
no.
Mothman when we get to the Mothman, though. So let's.
I believe in legends, myths, like
This
what
whole
we just
episode is
talked
just-
about, like
We'll talk about this stuff later.
Yeah. We're just raising
stories you hear growing up. I don't necessarily think it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Now for the donkey lady.
Watch when we go on our trip, we're gonna be
I
attacked by
think-
La Lechuza.
And the donkey lady.
I'm
I
sacrificing
think the
you
donkey
if we do.
lady.
Or John not John
Proctor.
Proctor.
Judge Proctor.
Judge Proctor.
John
Judge
Proctor is
Proctor.
from the Crucible.
I'm telling you, Proctors.
I think with the donkey lady, there could have been a woman for sure. That whole incident happened. What was
She
it? The
got
husband
burnt to a crisp, and you're like, she looks like a
And
donkey.
I think people really got
Look at the
scared
donkey woman.
and may have made up something.
Yeah.
So let's.
Well, I do
I'm gonna
say that
stick with that.
myths, there's some sort of origin of truth, right? It had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So maybe there was a
Yeah.
lady that got badly burnt and she.
Yeah.
Do y'all believe
Also,
ghosts?
Oh, don't get me started.
Is that a yes? A maybe? Just get.
Well,
just
I
short,
want to
sweet.
say yes,
Yes.
but I
Okay.
have not had an experience.
All right, you will one day. I foresee it. What about you?
Probably believe it when I see it.
You know, they say that happens to people kind of first. Like it hits you first, and then the believers like.
Well, you know what I do believe in is more spirits too. Like we were talking about this the other night. I believe more in things that you can't see. So
Like the energy?
the
Like,
energy and like, I don't know.
she talking to her crystals again?
No, it's not, I don't know. That sounds weird, but like the stuff that you can't see, for me, it's
So
more like.
so you think that you can't see a ghost type thing?
Yeah, like I don't think
You see things happen, but there's no one there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's more for me. That's more realistic. Like
Well,
if
Josh
someone...
Josh lives with a ghost.
You live with the ghost?
Yeah, I've had some stuff happen at my house.
Why have?
He's told us.
I have definitely talked about
Well,
it.
no, I know, but like, why haven't we been spending the night at his house more often?
I don't want to go there with a Ouija.
I want to go.
I'll
Okay,
get a-
no one's coming near my house with a Ouija
Yeah,
board.
you gotta,
Oh,
you
what?
gotta
I don't want
burn
to go
it.
with the Ouija board. That stuff I don't mess with.
Yeah.
But
If there's anybody here tonight.
I would definitely want to. We've talked about this. Like the four of us should just go make a paranormal activity.
Yeah, I've seen shadows close doors.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Start his PlayStation and then stop his PlayStation when he comes back.
Yeah, I was watching Netflix. I was in the bathroom and I heard my episode unpause.
Josh.
And when I was coming back and I was like, did my cat jump on it or something? And as I was turning the corner,
Have
it
you
just started
tried-
playing again.
Have you tried contacting
Or
this
paused, I guess.
ghost?
I mean, I've tried, but nothing happens.
Hmm.
I've tried recording.
That's interesting. Well, you know what? I
It's
believe
always
it.
it's not very common. It happens I get like one thing a year.
Wow.
It's very like you
When
never
was
know
your
what's
house
gonna happen.
built?
70s?
But it doesn't necessarily have to be someone from that house. It could be someone that's checking in on him. It could be,
And I believe in that too.
Sure.
yeah.
I believe in that too.
Just lay in bed and say, take my energy.
No, don't
You
take.
can,
Don't take.
I'm
his energy.
allowing you to use my energy.
No, you don't know how
Use
much
my
energy
body
he'll
as a
take.
vessel.
Yeah, not that one.
No, knock on wood.
You'll get Dear David.
Dear David, I just
Dear
learned
David.
about Dear David, and
How
you know
did
what
you
I did,
die?
Josh? I had them sleep in my room.
And I woke
Because I
up
was
with a bruise
scared.
the next day.
I was so scared of Dear
My God.
David.
I asked 3
That
questions.
little-
And she
little
had me
child.
close my closet door because I always leave my closet door like halfway open, like I'm too lazy to
Yeah,
close
go
it.
read the story Dear David if
Do you
want
think
a
it's
little
real?
creepy experience. I don't know.
Aren't they making a movie, right?
The guy's a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Writers
Didn't you
are
say
good.
your friend had to do that too? Like on Twitter, create a story thread and like basically say like, "Oh, this is real," but
Oh yeah, he did it. Yeah, he did it with some sort of like. It was for a class.
yeah.
He was trying to get people to comment on social media posts, so he did this whole thing where he was finding these. There's like either puzzles or clues or something, and they're always like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like during the whole height of the killer clown stuff
Mm.
in like 2016 or whatever.
Oh, I remember that time. People
Yeah,
really
people
thought-
getting pictures of clowns just
Yeah.
standing
Just
outside
standing
their door.
outside.
Yeah, I mean, he set up the whole thing, but he was like leading people to believe like someone dressed in a clown suit was trying to get him.
Look, it was probably related to 2020. Think about all the things
What?
we've lived through. The
This year?
killer clown
Oh.
epidemic of 2016.
Yep.
What? How do you think that's connected to 2020?
It's not, but think about all the things we've lived through. And who can say they lived through a killer clown epidemic?
Well,
Well,
can say
that wasn't-
All those Ring videos.
Yeah.
Were there some with ring videos? Like,
There were ring videos
Yeah.
of clowns, people in clown costumes walked in the streets middle of the night,
Oh,
ringing
no.
doorbells.
Speaking of
pictures
which-
of them waiting for like kids at bus stops
Let
in
me-
fields out in middle of nowhere, walking out of the woods.
let me arm my house. Speaking of.
Well,
we won't tell you what company
There we
we
go.
have, but we're not sponsored by them yet.
Can you imagine the people who probably felt that way from a donkey lady?
Yeah, every time I saw a donkey, yeah, is that you, Mary Margaret?
Kick her with the
Mary
left back
Margaret.
foot.
Mary Margaret?
Alright.
Just going up to people's houses and giving a back kick to the door,
Or just-
breaking down.
We're just dropping a little Once Upon a Time reference there.
Mary Margaret.
I was.
Snow White.
Oh, I see.
I've never. I've,
So, tell me more, Josh. Was there anything more on this donkey lady?
No, that's
no,
about it.
that where he was just asking like, what did we think? Did we think it was
but
real?
it-
And then we went
It
off.
does. It does lead me to our next story about another haunted bridge in Texas.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
This time we're going to Denton.
Oh.
gosh.
How
Wow.
indie of you.
That's a little close to home.
And this is called the Goatman's Bridge of Denton. So originally, this bridge was called Old Alton Bridge and was built in 1884. It's an important bridge for traffic and crossing cattle over water into the now abandoned community of Alton. The name Goatman comes from the form of a demonic satyr that is seen in the surrounding woods by the bridge. Legend says that if you cross the bridge without your headlights on, the demon will appear on the other end waiting for you.
Was this a story put out by the police?
No. No.
Use your headlights, people.
Well, I think since then the bridge has been closed down, so you can't even cross it in your car. Because it was
Why?
built before cars.
It's just for cap. But
It's just a crossing bridge now.
okay,
just like
but if it was built
for
before
traffic.
cars, why would they have to cross with their lights on?
Because it was built before cars,
Yeah.
but there are stories of cars crossing it. Like, that's where, like,
Older
stories of the-
cars.
no,
So-
like,
Oh.
now, like,
When did they close it? That's okay. Maybe I'm
like,
looking
not that long ago.
at- Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It was, like,
I thought you were
a couple
saying
years
like it was
ago.
built before cars and
Oh.
closed before cars.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay.
No, yeah, it was built before cars, but, like, because the bridge wasn't built
Yeah,
for
yeah,
cars.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a couple variations of this story. So the first one, a long time ago,
And a galaxy.
there was a very successful goat farmer by the name of Oscar Washburn.
You can stop right there.
A Washburn?
Moving on to the next story.
I love him.
What, Oscar
Oscar Washburn.
I mean,
the
can
goat
you
farmer?
imagine a farmer, Oscar Washburn?
Do you know
Oscar
him?
Washburn, the goat farmer.
In their past life, do you know?
I hope. I don't know.
Um,
I don't know if I was a farmer in a past
oh,
life.
you're gonna like him even more soon.
Oh, okay.
He was considered honest and dependable, and earned the nickname the Goat Man because of the quality of his meat, milk, and cheese he sold.
This guy was the original goat. There it is.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
Get it?
no, boo.
Greatest of all
no.
times. Hey.
That is
Unfortunate.
so old.
Unfortunate.
Alright, I just had to drop it down there.
Go on.
Go ahead.
great. Just fill this with puns. Anyways, so not everyone saw his hard work.
Mm.
Oscar was a black man and caught the attention of the local clan.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh,
There we go.
this got
I mean,
spicy.
you were kind of close. Policeman, man.
So
Boo, don't say that.
let's cut this.
I'm
Let's
not-
cut this whole section.
Can we? This turned political almost.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
All right. So,
So he was
Wait,
a
why is he the
black
greatest
man?
of all time because he was black?
No, I hope we cut that.
'cause he was a goat
Yes,
farmer
cut
who had high quality meat, milk, and cheese.
Look, does the goat man have half of a goat, like goat legs, or a goat head?
He
No,
owned
bro.
the goats.
You're jumping ahead.
Okay, this got too crazy.
Alright,
Josh,
I'm sorry. So
read your story.
he was a. I'm sorry.
Go back to when the bridge
He was
closed.
a.
Cut this out.
He was a
goat.
African American goat farmer, and he caught the attention of some.
The local clan.
Okay.
You know, just as it is, the local clan of Denton.
I can't imagine Denton.
So at some point, Oscar put a sign on the bridge because the bridge led to nearby his farm. He put a sign on the bridge that said "This way to the Goatman's."
No.
The clan formed a mob and went for Oscar. They dragged him to the bridge, placed a noose over his neck, and despite his pleas for mercy, they threw him over the edge. When they went down to look at his corpse, he was gone. They didn't know what happened to him, and in anger, they went back to his farm, killed his wife and children, and some say he became a dark spirit with the head of a goat, and he now haunts the bridge.
Well, I hope he haunted them for the rest of their lives.
That's terrible.
Yeah, another tragic story. These are not happy.
I will say that's kind of odd that his head is a goat.
Yeah.
Usually you hear about the legs being a goat because then it kind of resembles the devil.
Well, there's
Really?
there's another
Never
version.
heard of that.
There's another version of the
Goatman.
Goatman. So in this version, some cowboys took a Creole slave goat herder named Jack Kendall and lynched him from a tree. This was before the bridge was even built. They lynched him from a tree, and his head ended up becoming detached from his body. And to the surprise of the men, the body reanimated, got up, ripped the head off a nearby goat, and replaced his own, which was still hanging in the noose, and has been haunting the area ever since.
That's gross.
That's a creepy story, but again, it's the head of the goat. That's weird. Usually it's not. Huh.
Yeah. but people have reported hearing noises on the bridge, such as people drowning below or hooves running on the bridge.
That's a terrible story, and God rest her peace. Rest in pieces. Rest her soul. Jeez almighty.
It is said if you knock 3 times on the bridge at right at midnight, you will see glowing eyes and the snarling head of a goat man, and he will cast judgment on you. Whatever that means.
I would just knock to say I'm sorry.
Don't knock at all.
Regardless
That
of
would
the
knock.
version told, the goat man casts judgment on racists or people with heritage in the KKK to take their souls as revenge.
Dang.
Yeah.
Talking about justice being served.
Yeah.
You think Denton still has a plan?
No,
They don't.
I doubt. I mean, I hope not. Maybe I'm just living in a fairy tale world.
I was gonna say, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry
I'm
to
sure the
sorry to
Klan-
make such a controversial statement as not liking the Ku Klux Klan.
Wow. Yeah.
Please cut this out. I don't want to go.
Cut the cameras.
Cut the cameras, please.
Now, but in all seriousness, though, I mean, the Klan is still,
They're very active. They are
Yeah.
still very active.
and I
today.
know Dallas still has a chapter. I don't think they go by it, obviously, like the Klan, so to speak, but it's like a different name.
No, they're everywhere. Yeah, you gotta be real. They're everywhere, and you never know where they are, inner city, far. I mean, everyone thinks rural, but they're not just out there. They're everywhere.
Yep.
Can you imagine a goat guy in Denton?
So maybe we should go find maybe we should go find our local clan.
Oh gosh.
Invite some of them out to
Why don't
the
just
old
brunch?
Denton Bridge and see what happens.
Yeah, that's true. We could film.
That's the only time I'd invite him out. Josh, Jesus.
No, not even that.
Poor Washburn, man. He didn't deserve that.
Neither did the guy.
Or Jack
Slade.
Kendall.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, the whole Jack Kendall thing. Since he was a Creole slave.
What does that mean?
He was from Creole. Like,
Where's Creole?
Africa,
Supposedly he was.
right?
I don't know.
Creole, I think, is from, yeah.
Isn't Creole in Africa?
Yeah, it's like one of their tribes, I think. Hold on.
Makes me think of like the seasoning.
So there's a
for
person of
Creole.
mixed European and black descent, especially in the Caribbean.
Well,
I was a little.
I was a little misinformed.
So they're
You know
basically
what?
mixed.
But now we know.
They're mixed.
But that was supposedly he was able to do that with a goat's head through voodoo, because voodoo is very
That's-
popular
the
in the
Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Huh.
Oh man, voodoo.
That's a thing.
Voodoo the voodoo.
That's another
Ooh, When we
story.
do New Orleans, Louisiana. Oh,
We
boy,
have a
gotta
story
hit
for
up
New
all those.
Orleans for that one.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. It's a bit of a bummer. Last couple stories. Don't worry, we're gonna get into some fun death stories now.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah.
Hey, have you watched that
That's what
show?
this whole
1,000
podcast
Ways
is
to Die?
about.
No.
Well, there's 1,000 ways to die. Some of them gotta be fun.
I guess.
Laughing too hard.
All right. So, yeah, what you think about the goat man?
Honestly, I think that story so far has just made me feel sad for
Yeah.
both of them.
Yeah.
Tormented souls.
Yeah.
I believe it's true. Obviously. I just don't know about the
Curse.
glowing guys. or something.
So you believe the man reanimated himself and ripped off the head of a goat?
No, I'm saying that I don't know about. But
Okay.
everything else, like, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel sad. I feel sorry.
Like I said, I hope he really did haunt them till the end of their days.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
All right. So next up, we got Fort Worth,
Oh,
That's
alright.
close.
the Lake Worth monster.
Let's go TCU.
Now, this one came to mind because I used to have a book with different cryptids around the United States, and I remember reading about the Lake Worth monster. So his first sighting was in 1969. He's described as a half-man, half-goat creature. There's the goat again. We got goats and donkeys.
Yeah, apparently.
He has scales and fur. He was sighted multiple times around the lake, and it was estimated to stand around 7 feet tall and weigh 350 pounds.
Hefty.
One encounter told of the creature jumping from a tree and landing on a man's car.
Wow.
And another time, the creature was seen throwing a tire at a group of people, and the tire was thrown 500 feet.
Huh.
So this was only during one summer. After that, like 40 years after the sightings, some people came forward saying they were behind the sightings. One person said he wore a tinfoil mask to scare people at the lake, and another said he was rolling tires with a group of friends, and one was flung at people.
A tinfoil mask in the
That's-
middle of summer?
Okay, well that's the thing. He says he has a tinfoil mask, but how does that make, like, do people's imaginations just run wild? That, like, if I run out with a tinfoil mask, are people gonna be like, oh yeah, he's 7 feet tall, 350 pounds?
Well, okay, if they're scared in the moment, right, and this guy's coming at them, you could easily say that this mask kind of looks like scales, if it's reflective in a way.
Maybe if it was at like night. But then also this group saying that they're rolling tires and one got loose,
Yeah.
and then the crowd saying it was thrown 500 feet. I don't know.
That's really weird.
But yeah, creature's not seen since that summer, so it kind of
I think that's one you can kind of cross out.
yeah. I
I
like
don't
the
know
idea
what
of
it's
it. I like the idea of Texas having its own Bigfoot.
I
But
thought you were gonna talk about some like Scooby Doo, where it's like, you know, that swamp monster that's like the goop.
I wish. I wish it ended that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That's it. I mean, there's not much to go off of. So like one summer and 1 year. So
Yeah, it probably was some big guy that was just
You're just bored.
Just having fun.
Really
It's back in the
having
day.
fun.
What else are you gonna do?
yeah. No, I mean, my math is kind of bad anyway. So like, if I saw this super tall, big guy, I probably would say the same thing.
He's over 6 feet.
Like, that guy was 10 foot.
You'd be like, he's over 6 feet, 200 pounds. What's his number?
What's his number? No.
all right.
Robert Pattinson.
But well, oh God. We're gonna move on.
We're
gonna
not
move
talking
into-
about vampires today.
We're gonna move into ghosts now.
Or Batman.
Um,
Ghosts. Here we go.
Here's one that we all know of. It's a local story.
Does it take place in Richardson, Texas?
Nope. All right, we're gonna cut back here after Alex and Cheesemo don't give away my address.
Elevator music.
So this is the Lady of White Rock Lake.
Oh, we know this one. We know.
I don't know this one.
Well, that's why it's the Tale-less
Yeah.
Travel.
So, the first time the lady entered folklore was in 1943. A young couple had parked by the lake, and when they turned on their headlights, they saw a woman in a soaked white dress who asked them for a ride. She said her boat overturned and the others were safe, but she needed to get home.
Aww.
The couple drives her to the given address, but when they arrive, all that's left of the girl is a wet seat. They go up to the door. A man tells them that they are the third couple to tell him the story, and that his daughter had drowned in the lake 3 weeks prior.
That's
Yeah.
horrible. Wow.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm in this day and age, I don't think I would trust a soaking wet woman in the middle of the night, or when was this?
Middle of the night.
Yeah, in the middle of the night. I feel bad saying that.
So this kind of goes into the classic tale of the haunted hitchhiker.
Yeah.
The Texas's version, I guess. Dallas's version.
Yeah, but yeah.
Other variations include a heartbroken bride who
Mhm.
drowned herself in the lake.
I'd believe it though. I'd believe this story.
I
There's
heard-
something about it that's so raw.
I heard one, I don't know if it's the same one where it was like, or maybe it ties into La Llorona, but she's trying to look for kids in the lake. I think that ties to La Llorona. I don't know if there's also one of White Rock
So
Lake.
this classic woman, this woman in white,
Mm-hmm.
a distraught woman. It's all kinds of stories about
Yeah.
people all over the world.
Um,
It's just an interesting.
I've heard of this one.
Commonality.
And yeah.
you know, but also going off of what you were saying, like not feeling comfortable picking people up, but like, you know, for a long time, really people would pick someone up.
That's what
without
I'm
even
saying.
thinking.
Like back in the day, that was such a common thing, but nowadays it's
You do that now, you think you're gonna jump.
Yeah, nowadays I would not do it, but
Like, stay right there. I'll stay in my car and call
like
911.
I will call for help for you. I don't think I would.
Like, wouldn't that? What do you think, Josh? Like, if you were in your car and for some reason you're at the lake
And there's a
and you're at the lake at night, turn on the headlights, boom.
a wet soaking woman.
I'm so socially awkward. I'd probably be like, "Oh, yeah, okay, sure."
And
And then we wouldn't hear from
we
you
never
again.
heard from Josh
Yeah.
again.
Uh,
Dun, dun, dun.
No, that one's
No, actually, I can't. I'm actually driving into the lake. I'm not going your way.
Sorry, I'm not going where you're going.
Make room, move over.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But like, Brooke, would you today in this day and age, would you offer to drive someone a middle of the night soaking wet lady from the lake home, or would you call for help for her?
I wouldn't be there by myself in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
First
now
of all-
that's the other
first
thing.
of
Why are
all,
you at the lake at
by
midnight?
This
myself.
is your hypothetical.
Okay, well, it was a couple at the lake.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that may be me, but depending, if
Oh,
you
yeah?
know.
Yeah, you like a lake scene?
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Do you really?
I wouldn't mind.
No,
Well, yeah. Hold on.
nothing
though.
gets me like man-made bodies of water.
Ew.
Jeez.
You know what though? You have to be careful because I've been watching Criminal Minds lately,
Yeah,
and they've
the Candyman,
I haven't. What's his
guy
name?
with the hook. A couple killers.
Is that in Criminal
killers.
Minds?
No,
It's a
but
horror
just,
movie.
Well, no, yeah,
Yeah.
but like these couples, they park on the side.
the
of
Zodiac
road.
killer get off
He
making out.
He kills them. He kills
Yeah.
these couples. You gotta be careful.
Well, yeah, but I know, but also a little bit of voyeurism doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
danger.
Yeah, a little
Ooh.
danger, a little
Ooh.
bit late
Well,
at night. You want to get freaky in your car. It's not. Dear God, cut that out. You know.
I wish I had a camera to record Josh's face at that
He's
very
like-
exact moment.
What was his face?
All I'm saying is, in a way, I could understand this couple who went late
They
at night
wanted some privacy,
to the lake in
as
1940.
they
what?
say
Hold
in England.
on.
Some privacy.
1943
1943, guys. 1943.
That is the height of
of World War II.
hitchhiking make out point.
Is
And that's
it?
also the time
First
when
of all,
like it's not
why
a
is
big
this
deal.
guy? Why is this guy still around? Why isn't he serving this country?
Yeah, this
Oh.
but
Maybe he
true,
was an
though.
old-
Maybe he had
Older
bone
guy.
spurs.
Hey, 2020.
There you go.
Oh.
But yeah, 1943. It's not like they have lights illuminating that area that they're in. It's probably pitch black.
Who
They
knows?
gotta have headlights on. They must have been just pulling in, or they're like, "What was that? I'm scared." And he's like,
I'll protect you, baby.
I'll show you."
Who knows
I
what
wasn't
White
strong
Rock
enough
Lake
to
looked like in the
join the
40s.
army, but I'm strong enough to protect you.
Then he turns on his lights. Gee whiz, you need help?
I will say though, I do think that there's some truth to the story.
I do too. I
Also-
would believe it. And there's something sentimental about hearing about a bride or a woman or
Well, do you know
someone alone and hurt.
Reader's Digest ranked White Rock Lake number 8 out of the top 14 most haunted bodies of water in the world.
Are
Do you know
you
how many
serious?
things happen at White Rock Lake?
There's
I've
a
only
lot-
been
there's
here
some-
for almost 2 years, and yet I've heard so many stories of
Mhm.
people dying there. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
Kidnappings,
Murders, people who. There was one last
even
year.
during broad daylight.
Yeah, there was one last year. Guy with a machete killed a runner. The runner's fiance couldn't handle it. She killed herself, carbon monoxide poisoning, because she didn't want to live her life without him.
Was this during the day?
During the day.
Which
That's
is
crazy.
which is interesting you say that. So first of all, what was ranked number 7 was Lake Loch Ness.
Wow.
So this was ranked right below,
Right.
right above Loch Ness. Secondly, the lake was built on top of 3 different cemeteries.
You're kidding.
White Rock Lake?
Yep.
Now that I did not know.
Before the-
That's freaky.
That's so
Before the lake was
cool.
formed, there was 3 cemeteries in 3 different municipalities. When the city of Dallas was planning on creating the lake, the cemeteries were assimilated, and
oh my God, there's trapped there.
multiple resting places were disturbed.
They're trapped there. We
Okay.
They were moved.
That I did
Oh,
not
but
know.
still, you don't move
Yeah.
someone after their resting place.
Yeah,
because their resting place should be their
Resting
final
place.
rice.
we literally kayaked.
We've kayaked there.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to go now.
You want to?
Yeah.
Take
let's
a
go.
dive. Take a
We're like,
swim.
And we are
When it gets a little bit cooler, maybe
Feel
a
something
couple weeks.
grab your
on
ankle.
top of the cemetery.
Well, I'm glad y'all are not that afraid to
Girl,
go back.
you know what? We'll be kayaking and all of a sudden we'll see a hand raise up from the water.
What if I bring like a first date kayaking on top of our
Throw them off, see if you can
and
swim.
then I'll throw that fun fact. Hey, did you know that White Rock Lake is on top of 3 cemeteries?
Do you know how many murders there are out here?
I can tell.
And how many people get away with it?
And how many
And then
murders there will
my
be?
date's gonna be so afraid. I'm like, what? Why are you talking about this? What's going on?
We'll be in a separate kayak. The other 3 of us just like
Binoculars,
yeah, checking
life
up
jackets, a gun.
You've been put!
We're the goons.
The Goons. We call ourselves the Goons.
You know what though? That's kind of freaky. That
Okay, that I did not know.
That's messed up.
That it was on top of.
That makes
3
me want to go
cemeteries.
there a lot more. But
Me
that also
too.
makes me a lot more hesitant because there's got to be some weird energy that draws people in there to do crazy
Have you
things
guys
too.
felt anything?
We only
No.
went, like once.
yeah. Well,
I would walk the trail. I've never walked the trail.
I'm scared to walk the trail because of how
Well,
many
the-
stuff has
yeah.
happened.
so the Dallas Arboretum, which if you know anyone local to Dallas, they should really check it out. It's a really cool place. But it's like right there next to White Rock Lake. Like you can see the lake from the Arboretum.
Oh,
I think you can. I don't know if you saw it when we went, but there's like some stairs from the Arboretum that you can like go down, and you're like literally right next to the lake. So
No, I didn't
It's-
see that. I want to go back.
like walking around there, obviously you don't really feel anything. But I am curious. Like
Let's go back.
Because
maybe
now that
there's-
you know,
maybe there is
and
weird
you can,
energy.
you can sense
Hold
it.
on, but is it gonna be a placebo
Placebo?
effect where you go back and you're like, oh yeah, I feel it?
No,
and it was
because
like,
I think we're skeptic enough to say if you feel something or not.
oh.
Well, you do say that, but I feel like you also have a tendency to be like,
I feel
Oh, I'd be aware. No, I'd be aware of my surroundings because I'd be a little bit anxious and be like, all right, someone hiding there, someone hiding there. But
but
I
energy.
have people in my family. The women of my family have, of my mom's side, have this third sense.
I believe that
So
because my intuition's too good.
I
and-
agree with you, Josh.
No, and it's a little too good.
I make dumb mistakes, but I have really good intuition at certain things.
vibes from people and all that. Yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah.
I have dreams.
I get
They come true.
vibes.
well, clearly these guys didn't get
It's like
vibes from the
Yoko
lady.
Ono over there.
What?
Yoko Ono over there.
And now that we've just blasted the ears of anyone listening,
Yeah, look at that on
Caution.
the screen.
Rip headphone users.
I'll fix it.
Look up Yoko Ono. See,
Or
well,
don't.
Which, just.
Look up a cat dying.
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. What?
Rip PETA.
No.
What?
This video is sponsored by PETA.
No.
Don't even start with me.
Take that out.
cats and
No,
kids.
take that out too. What if we
Carol
get?
Bass.
What if we get?
Cut
sued?
the cameras.
Cut the cameras.
Dead ass.
What if we get sued by Carol Bass?
What's she
Oh.
gonna
I
sue us
hope
for?
she does. I hope
No.
she comes for us.
What is she?
No.
What is she gonna sue us for? Because we said her name. We said her catchphrase.
Yeah.
It's not copywritten.
Is it copyright?
She
Come at
murdered.
me.
She murdered her.
Now
ex-husband.
that's she'll sue us for that. You can't say that.
Guys,
Yeah,
this
Cut
is.
this out. Cut this
I
out.
haven't seen Tiger King.
You don't have to. She killed her husband. Everybody knows it.
But he doesn't.
Whether
That
you
is not a
believe-
spoiler.
Whether you believe it or not, she did it.
Gotcha.
Watch Tiger King. It's actually interesting and crazy.
Now he's gonna be played by my really good friend Nicolas Cage. Shout out Nick. How you doing?
Well, Nick,
He didn't respond.
he's a good friend.
Well, you know he'll be listening.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So let's bring this back full circle to her
Yeah,
White
that's gonna
Rock
be a
Lake
big
lady.
chunk
Mhm.
to edit.
That's really crazy. It ranked number 8.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Out of 14, right? Yeah, that's
Is there
okay.
any stories for White Rock?
No, that's about it.
Yeah.
There's one I thought was kind of weird because it's like this guy who's just like, oh, I definitely saw her. She was wearing a Neiman Marcus dress. And I was like, this
What?
just sounds like an ad for Neiman Marcus.
It
I don't know.
does, it
Apparently, it's one
does.
of the most famous stories, but
Well,
I
you
thought
know-
it was too funny.
Okay, so to take into account for those who are not familiar with the White Rock Lake area, the houses that surround there, it's a mixture. You kind of have your iffy neighborhoods, but then literally the street over, you've got like some of the mansions in the metro.
Probably said that because he probably associated with being a rich woman. Because if y'all have names Marcus up here. Well,
that's
same
like
thing.
you. That's like
I
you.
saw the ghost.
Well, it's the same thing saying like, oh, I saw her and it looked like Dillard's. It had to be Dillard's because what if that was the biggest name brand back then?
She was
Maybe they
definitely
all-
wearing penny shoes.
All they
It
had
looked
was
like Robert Pattinson.
Was that an RL on her dress?
Ralph. I'll come after you, Ralph.
I just know.
But you know what I mean? Like maybe that was the biggest store they had around then. Was the name is Marcus. Yeah, Marcus.
Maybe people were just bored. It was the 50s.
You said 47.
Yeah.
43 originally.
Oh jeez.
But the name and Marcus one was like 50s.
Oh. Well,
I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
It was the exact same story. It's just the people in it were just like, that looks like a name and Marcus dress.
Yeah.
Maybe it added more fluff to the
It's
story.
like every
I don't
couple
know.
of years, there's like new variations of it. I'm sure there's still variations to this day.
If I ever go missing, you guys can say I was wearing Ralph Lauren, so he'll tag you in. Free.
Should we make your height taller?
Make me thinner, please.
Wait, small,
Thinner. Very attractive, Ralph Lauren.
All right, yeah.
That's a thing.
You
When
know
I
what?
go missing,
Yeah,
do the
let's have a
same thing.
consensus, guys. If any of us ever goes missing,
knock on wood.
you know, give me a weight of like 130 at least, maybe 128.
And then when they find you, I'll be like, she bloated. She wasn't that big.
Are you
I'm
saying that I'm big now?
5'5",
No, I said you
120.
bloated.
5'5", 120. That is.
And my eye color is this color. My social security number, get ready, is 12111111000.
Did you write that down?
Do you write that down?
Yeah, I got it.
Got
And
it.
he's gonna edit that out. Okay,
Yeah, I got it right here.
let's transition.
Okay, this is our last story.
Okay.
Last.
Okay,
Yeah.
the best one for last. Hit me up. Let's go.
This is
have a
I had the
lunch.
most fun
If this is, like-
researching this place.
If this is like nudes top 5.
Nukes.
Why do you call it nudes?
I called it
Because it thrills me as much as a nude does.
nudes. Oh,
Great.
God. Okay,
All right.
cut that out.
So no, that's staying in.
Nudes.
That one's staying in. Keep saying it.
Nudes. Nudes. Nudes.
It's like
PG-13. Cats, kittens, litter boxes,
It's
cat
like
toys.
that. Y'all remember that time that we were in the McDonald's drive-in, and not drive-in, drive-through, and my sister was.
Okay, so our last story of the night.
Ooh.
Campfire's dwindling. Just put our last log on. We got
Our
one more
last
story.
log.
Finish my drink for the night.
All right, so this is a place that I would love to go to. They give tours.
Oh,
The little town of Yorktown.
Yorktown.
It's the southeast of San Antonio,
Never heard of it.
and this is the Yorktown Memorial Hospital.
Insane asylum? No, just a
He's
regular hospital.
It was a hospital turned into a drug rehab center, and now it is abandoned.
Aww.
We should go visit.
I would love to.
You know.
I want to go visit the Terrell State
Look,
Hospital.
you know what would happen if we did it? We're like, oh my god, we're the only people in here, hee hee hee. And then there's homeless people, like, running around.
Then
Well,
we're gonna be
they give frequent tours.
Oh, okay.
It's like the people who own it give the tours. So
Okay.
I don't think they'd
Alright,
let homeless
Go
people.
get a EVP reader,
Just-
someone get a really good camera.
Well, here's the story of it. So this hospital originally opened in the 1950s by a group of Felician nuns.
Oh.
The building is 30,000 square feet.
Oh.
It comprises a basement, administration floor, 2 wings, a chapel, and a second floor living quarters to be used by the employees. Memorial became part of its title as a tribute to the many men in the surrounding area who had served during World War II. And the hospital had lost up to 2,000 patients in the 30 or so years it was open. In the 80s, it was turned into a drug rehab center, and then eventually closed down by the state and abandoned because they couldn't control their patients. One person who was at the rehab center was able to just leave, went across the street to a store, and ended up slapping a female cashier across the face.
Wow.
So after many incidents like that, the rehab center was closed down and it was abandoned.
What a power move, though.
Talk about a bitch slap the other day.
Yeah. But people have reported to be scratched, choked, and even had things thrown at them. Shadow people can be seen throughout the entire hospital, and even figures of a figure of a nun can be seen in her habit in a black dress who glides across the floor.
The nun.
What do you think the chances are someone when they get choked was like, yes, Daddy?
No. That
Other
wasn't
people
a thing
have-
back then.
Other people have reported, ignoring that, other people have reported that they've seen a large shadow of a dog creature who has glowing red eyes and snarls.
Okay, that is an omen. Black dog, red eyes is an omen for death.
Well, a lot of people have died in this hospital.
Yeah.
In the chapel, investigators have said to hear growling when reading passages from the Bible. And there's also the ghost of a little girl who's looking for someone to play with. And if you roll a ball into one of the dark hallways, she might roll it back to you.
Well, let me tell you something. When I used to work at a grocery store in a not so very nice area, we had frequent people come in that were drug addicts. And I was growled at by one of them. So maybe it wasn't an animal growling, but
It's just one of the
human
drug addicts just still living in there.
Yeah, just growling.
40 years later.
Just growling. Like an old man, like, get off my property, but he's like,
It's like in his 60s and he's still growling at people.
yeah. I mean, you gotta commit, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Alright, so let's talk about some of the ghosts that have been seen there. This first one is probably the most famous ghost there. Is of Dr. Leon Nowierski. I think I'm saying that right. This guy was born in 1891, and he's the only known doctor that I could find at this hospital. Apparently, because of Yorktown's location, it was hard to find doctors, and they made do with what they had. And this guy, Dr. Nowierski, he practiced medicine into his 90s before he was forced into retirement, and he died shortly after. Due to his old age, it was extremely common for him to make mistakes, and one of these accidents, during a simple thyroid procedure, he ended up slitting the patient's throat.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe he had Parkinson's.
Maybe.
We don't know.
He died in 1986, and people can still see his specter routinely patrolling the halls, checking on patients, and moving throughout the operating rooms.
That's so sad that he feels like he can't move on because he worked until he was 90.
Yeah.
Like he wants to be there to help.
I can't even imagine working.
At 90?
Yeah. Well, no, I just can't imagine working.
Yeah.
So this next event happened in the basement.
Oh.
It's a bit of a Lifetime movie. I
Oh.
can see it being made into a Lifetime movie.
I love
Favorite.
Lifetime movies.
Here,
Who slept with who?
give me the name of a
Like a
just give me
title.
a girl's name.
Ariana.
Ariana?
Okay, Ariana. And two guys' names.
Ken
Grande.
No, Kyle. Ken and Kyle.
Ken and Kyle. Okay.
and Ariana.
So
God.
during the time that the hospital is a rehab center, a female employee by the name of Ariana became involved with her coworker Kyle and a patient by the name of Ken. So she was seeing both Ken and Kyle at the same time.
Oh, a love triangle.
So while
live
Wait,
for them.
hold on. So
She
she
was
was.
a patient and a coworker.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Dang.
How did she go with the patient?
Yeah, that's a little
Who's-
messed up.
I need
How
to
is-
give him some one-on-one treatment.
Ariana's
Maybe-
treating her patients.
Maybe he was good looking enough that she could bypass his
His
addiction.
horrible addiction.
And he used her for more
I
pills.
would.
What?
I would.
Well,
Pattinson.
one
Is
day-
that you?
Susan was in the basement with Kyle doing something.
Oh,
Um, My sources said
Switching.
the sources said they were just doing something down in the basement. I assume they were reading the Bible.
The
Anyways,
Kumbaya.
Yeah.
Ken comes down. He discovers them, and in a state of rage, stabs her to death.
Ken was the worker, right?
Yeah.
Ken was the worker.
Ken
was the patient.
Ken's Ken's the worker.
I thought-
Kyle's the patient.
I thought Ken was the
I
patient.
don't know. I'm
Kyle.
confused. Huh.
Ken was the patient.
Cool. Okay. Ken the patient.
Ken.
Kyle came down, stabbed Ariana. Ken wrestled the knife out of his hands and kills Kyle. And
Okay. Wait.
oh
So
my God.
so Ariana.
Maybe I should have just left him without
You
names.
should have left him without names.
Yeah.
So the girl was
I thought
down.
I was gonna make it easier, but
Okay, the girl was down in the basement with the coworker.
yes. No,
And-
she was a patient.
All right, start
So
over. So there was a woman.
No, we got it.
The girl was in the basement with her patient.
with the patient.
The coworker comes down, catches them,
Yeah.
kills her.
Yeah.
Patient wrestles the knife out of his hand, kills him
Okay.
in self-defense.
There we go.
What happened to this patient though?
It doesn't say, but
The spirit lives on.
to this day, bloodstains are still there.
Really?
They were tested, and they are human blood.
Oh, cool.
But that explains the activity in the basement.
Uh-oh.
And the last notable case I found is there was a man named TJ who was overdosing. His friends took him to the rehab center and dropped him off on the back porch. And the back porch had a buzzer. The nurses were supposed to stay up all night listening for the buzzer. I think it was like an emergency buzzer or something. But on this night, either the buzzer wasn't working or the nurse fell asleep. So the man, TJ, ended up overdosing back on the back porch, and he wasn't discovered until the morning after he had long since died.
Oh, no.
Now, shadows can be seen on the back porch, and the buzzer, people can hear a buzzer noise every now and then.
We also like to make the statement that Epstein didn't kill himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good addition.
Thanks.
Right.
Okay.
Really ties this everything
You
together.
see how because they weren't paying attention, and see how that ties in there.
Don't know how that tied in them. Okay.
That's
the part
New York.
The part about the blood still being there, I think that's freakish and cool.
You know,
Freakish
anytime
people.
there's some sort of love affair going on, I really believe that that's where like really intense energy, good or bad, comes from. Because
I've heard of that.
yeah,
The
like
more passionate ones,
Yeah.
that's the more passionate energy.
like you kill someone out of betrayal / jealousy.
Actually, Josh and I were just talking about this earlier. Juono, how do you say it?
Juon?
Juon. Where, what is it in Japanese culture? Like,
It's like a revenge ghost or like revenge spirit
yeah, that's the more
Because it's-
passionate one, right?
because of such like I don't know, such negative energy and hatred can just I mean,
It
basically the grudge.
It comes back,
They have a grudge and they come back.
but at full force.
It's like Lee Everett on the Walking Dead Telltale series.
Oh. Wait,
Kills
what?
the senator. Yeah, his wife in the beginning of the game. When you're in the car with the policeman, and he's like, "Hey, what'd you do?" And then,
yeah.
you can say, so he's like, "Well, I think it was the woman." And you're like, "Well, no, you know, it's the man." And then you later find out that the guy that Lee kills was the senator who was sleeping with his wife.
What a story.
Yeah.
Spoilers ahead if y'all haven't played that.
I gotta say though, I mean, for the first guy, the doctor, like,
That's sad.
yeah, that one I just kind of feel for him because, I mean, he passed, and if that's really him, he's just still doing the same thing. Hasn't been able to move on. The second thing's interesting. I mean, can you imagine? Like, you're downstairs, maybe you're having a little fun with your
Patient lover,
drug
addict.
your drug addict of a lover, and
That's
then
alright.
boom, just like.
Ra-ta-ta-ta.
Yeah.
And the third guy, like,
That's unfortunate.
That's
That's
just
sad.
it
Because
is.
you don't know what circumstance was going on.
Well, his friend shouldn't just ditched him.
Yeah,
But you know
like,
what? Honestly, how often does that happen? I'm sure it still happens today.
Yeah, just dropping someone off at the hospital. Like,
Yeah.
hope it's
Hope
okay.
for the best.
Oh yeah. Sure it happens like if you probably like pull up a map or something, I'm sure it's common like near campuses.
Oh, for sure.
That's crazy though. Well, these were good stories, Josh. Some of them I did not know, some of them I did, but not full on.
Very interesting. Definitely
Yeah.
had to touch up on a part 2 for Texas because it's so big.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah,
A lot of stuff to cover.
yeah, I can only imagine. That's pretty neat, though. I mean, kind of like what you said, though. Like, gosh, there are a couple of things. Actually, no, I think the majority of them I really had no idea. The White Rock Lake thing I did know. However,
I didn't know it was on top of the cemetery.
Yeah, that-
3 at that.
that one was
That one shocked me the most.
For business inquiries, you can contact us
At taleslesstraveled@gmail.com. Or you can find us on social media.
at
Tales Less Traveled on Instagram and
TL.
TL Traveled on Twitter.
I gotta say though,
It'll all be there.
I did like the fact that we, you touched upon stories that were
Tales Less Traveled.
Ciao. Ciao.
Yes, well, if you're still here, thanks for joining us.
Thank
Do
you.
you have any stories, suggestions that you want to share for future states we might cover?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, send us an email.
Questions, concerns, comments?
At taleslesstraveled@gmail.com.
Very good. What was that again?
taleslesstraveled@gmail.com.
One more time.
taleslesstraveled@gmail.com.
That's great. Okay.
And also, if you're a male between the ages of 20 and 35.
All right, that's all the time we have. Thank you.
Here. Hold it, and talk.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you hold the boo and then shift
Just
it to
make
you and then
2
shift
feet
it
away. 2 feet away.
There.
Okay.
Okay.
Josh.
I love these outtakes. Are you ready? Hey guys.
Cut.
Fucking hate this.
I'm about to throw some.
Alright. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out.
Okay, I'm done.